Today on Softeller Tech Briefs, we're looking at how to hire a Ruby on Rails developer, from defining the role and evaluating technical skills to choosing the right cooperation model and running effective interviews. Ruby on Rails has been around for the better part of the last 2 decades, and its popularity and utility aren't fading. This powerful web application framework has redefined how enterprises develop applications through its convention over configuration philosophy, a set of conventions that help developers focus more on core application logic and less on configuration while writing code. Built on the Ruby programming language, it also emphasizes DRY, don't repeat yourself, principles that promote code reusability and limit errors caused by code modification. These features make Ruby on Rails ideal for building complex, mission-critical applications at a fast pace and with considerably fewer resources. That, in turn, makes ROR a top choice for many businesses embarking on application development initiatives. Companies like Airbnb, GitHub, and Shopify have adopted the framework to build their platforms to great effect, and many startups have followed suit. Websites using Ruby on Rails now number well over 3.7 million, with more than 577,000 active sites accounting for a significant share of the web. The widespread adoption of Rails in business circles has driven up demand for competent Ruby on Rails developers. Job openings reported on LinkedIn alone in the United States have numbered in the thousands in recent years. For any business stakeholder or owner working on a Rails project, that means development talent may not be entirely scarce, but finding experienced developers who are well-versed in the Rails framework can still be a competitive and demanding endeavor. You'll need to carefully consider many factors if you want to find the right ROR developer for your project and business environment. Whether you're looking for freelance developers for a short-term assignment or dedicated development teams for an extended project, the principles we'll cover here can help you set up your web application project for success. We'll look at the fundamentals of hiring a competent Rails developer, a step-by-step hiring process, different cooperation models, screening questions, and mistakes to avoid. What you need to know before hiring ROR developers. Getting the right dedicated Ruby on Rails developers or staff augmentation team to work on your project can often be the difference between a project that proceeds smoothly with exceptional results and one with delayed timelines and inefficient outcomes. Yet hiring the right ROR developer isn't straightforward. You need to understand what your project entails in depth, the scope, techniques, features, and timelines, and the skills required to execute it well. Those factors should shape every decision you make during hiring. Let's start with the job description. The job description should set expectations for potential candidates from the outset. It's your first point of engagement with future employees, so it should be unambiguous about what your company and project demand. Your company introduction matters. The narrative you present to developers affects how you attract the best talent. Ruby developers who are worth their salt want to be part of something meaningful. They want to work in an environment that's challenging, innovative, and grounded in real growth, not one where they stagnate while paychecks arrive. Your company introduction should highlight your business value proposition, the project's complexity, and the outcomes expected upon completion. The role description should be equally clear. What is the job title? Will the role be full-time, part-time, or freelance? Which development methodologies will be used to see the project through? Specify all of this when promoting a Rails developer opening, then define developer responsibilities explicitly. These are the duties you expect your Rails developers to fulfill day to day throughout the course of your project, the reason you're hiring them in the first place. Responsibilities may vary from project to project and between companies, but commonly include developing new Rails-based web applications, optimizing existing Rails applications, conducting code reviews, and collaborating with other developers in a cross-functional team. Whatever counts as project work should be stated clearly so candidates know exactly what they're signing up for. On the technical skills side, a good handle on the Ruby language and Rails framework is fundamental for any ROR developer. But many other factors go into being an exceptional Rails developer beyond proficiency in those technologies. Ruby on Rails expertise is the foundation. Potential candidates should be conversant in everything Ruby, from model view controller architectures, object-oriented programming, and RESTful APIs to Rails-specific components like Active Record, Active Storage, and Action Cable. Don't overlook front-end development skills. Ruby on Rails is primarily used for server-side application development, so it's easy to underweight front-end expertise when crafting a job description. That's a mistake. Rails developers with prior experience in front-end technologies like CSS, JavaScript, React, and Vue.js find it easier to collaborate with design teams when implementing client-side features. Database proficiency is essential as well. Look for experience with relational database systems like PostgreSQL and MySQL. Proficiency here is a strong indication of the candidate's ability to write efficient and reliable code. It also matters for security. Developers with a strong command of SQL can implement database security standards more effectively in the protection of sensitive data. Technical know-how is a top priority when hiring Rails developers because it's what gets the job done. But soft skills are just as important because they determine whether a developer excels in your business environment. Communication skills matter because most development projects don't happen in isolation. It's typically a group of individuals collaborating on a shared objective. Hiring developers with good communication skills isn't optional. It's necessary to ensure workflows proceed smoothly. Even on short-term fix-it projects, ROR developers need strong communication skills to deliver work and handle feedback in a constructive and timely manner. Analytical and logical reasoning is another critical soft skill. Unforeseen hiccups that threaten to delay or derail your operation can occur on any Rails project. RubyGem compatibility issues, errors in database migrations, security vulnerabilities, scalability challenges. Having a developer with a keen analytical mind on your team is key to overcoming those situations successfully. When issues arise, these developers can quickly provide logical solutions without the problem severely affecting the project schedule. Self-education is equally valuable. Staying in touch with emerging industry trends and sharing a passion for learning on the job are among the most natural strengths a Rails developer can possess. When you have developers with that mindset on your staff, integrating new tools and Ruby on Rails updates into your project workflow becomes significantly easier. The process for hiring Ruby on Rails developers. Let's say you've ascertained everything your web application project needs, technology and personnel-wise. What comes next? You don't just post a Rails developer job description and hire whoever fits the bill. You need to be more meticulous than that to find a competent Rails application developer who aligns with your project objectives. Here's an approach you can use to structure your hiring process and avoid hasty or suboptimal choices. First, clarify the requirements of the role. Before you start looking for candidates, know everything about the position you're looking to fill. Is it a long-term or short-term engagement? Will the developer work on a one-off or ongoing project? Which hard and soft skills must they possess? What's your budget for the developer's services? Gathering this information upfront helps streamline the hiring process as you move forward. Next, create a hiring funnel. A hiring funnel is a structured framework that defines every stage of your recruitment and selection process. It guides each step from initial application submissions to final onboarding, so every candidate can be assessed on the same ground before you make a final decision. Then prepare a job description. A well-written job description should be concise but comprehensive enough to give candidates all the information they need to decide if they're suited for the position. It's where you make your first impression on potential candidates, so it should make a compelling case for your organization and highlight the challenges developers will face if they take on the role. Shortlist candidates before moving further. It would be ideal to interview everyone who submits an application, but because not all applicants will realistically fit the bill, that wastes time and resources. A shortlist helps you sift through resumes to identify Ruby developers who meet your minimum criteria. Don't make the mistake of using certifications or years of experience as your only yardstick. A detailed portfolio and a track record of success often indicate more about a candidate's acumen and versatility than degrees or certificates. Screen with HR first. The initial screening is the icebreaker for the rest of the hiring process. Focus on how well candidates fit your company's culture and values. Pay close attention to their communication skills. Is it clear, professional, and proactive? This is also a chance to iron out logistical details like availability, work preferences, and salary expectations to ensure alignment before moving forward. A positive first experience builds trust and excitement, setting the stage for a productive relationship. Conduct a technical interview. The technical interview reveals the candidate's technical depth. Avoid generic questions and go deeper. Ask about conventions in Ruby on Rails, front-end integrations, database optimization, and more. Ask them to describe projects they've completed and why they chose one approach over another. That allows you to assess not only their technical knowledge, but also how they express complex ideas, a very important skill in collaboration. Use this interview to separate theoretical understanding from practical expertise. Follow up with live coding or a test task. A live coding exercise or test task is a strong opportunity to see a candidate in action. Give them a task as close as possible to what they'll face on your projects. Implement a small feature in Rails or solve bugs in an existing codebase. Observe their attitude toward problems, their coding style, and how they cope with unexpected obstacles. That tells you about their technical skill sets, work ethic, creativity, and resilience under pressure. Make the decision. By this point, you should have a clear picture of each candidate. Take insights from HR screening, the technical interview, and live coding to gauge hard and soft skills, and choose an applicant who matches your requirements from both a technical and personality standpoint. Someone who fits your team's dynamic and long-term plans. Finally, onboard properly. Onboarding isn't just sending an offer letter. A solid onboarding plan ensures your new developer gets up to speed with your team quickly. Introduce them to your company's tools, workflows, and projects in depth. Pair them with a mentor or colleague who can guide them through the first weeks. Regular check-ins during onboarding help address concerns early and build a solid foundation for a successful partnership. Hiring Ruby on Rails developers, models of cooperation. There are multiple ways to employ skilled Ruby on Rails specialists. What works for one project may not work for another. It depends on project scale, timeline, and expected outcomes. 3 cooperation models have distinct advantages and trade-offs, and it's up to you to determine which one fits your project. In-house hiring is the traditional approach, where you hire Ruby developers to work exclusively for your company in a physical office or remote setting. ROR developers hired this way typically stay on as permanent employees, fully ingrained in your work culture and long-term objectives. The advantages include direct communication. In-house developers are accessible, and face-to-face or real-time interactions often lead to rapid problem-solving and better understanding of project intricacies. Cultural fit tends to be stronger because team members are entrenched in your company's mission and values, and in-house teams provide continuity, which is important for projects requiring consistent development and updating over time. The disadvantages include higher cost. In-house recruitment tends to be the most expensive option, as salaries, benefits, equipment, and office space add up and can limit how quickly you scale. It's also time-consuming. Finding the right talent and getting them up to speed can significantly delay project timelines. And flexibility is limited. Changing team size involves lengthy recruitment or separation procedures. For in-house hiring, platforms like LinkedIn, Glassdoor, and Indeed are strong options for finding professionals ready for long-term positions. Recruitment agencies can handle the process if you don't have the time or personnel. Networking conferences, hackathons, and tech meetups are also good opportunities for talent connection. Freelance hiring means engaging an independent Rails developer or group of developers to work on a specific project for a defined period. These contractors typically work remotely and may juggle other projects depending on contract terms. Freelancing is often more affordable than full-time employment, especially for shorter engagements, freeing resources for other critical areas of your business. It also gives access to specialized expertise. If you need developers skilled in ROR niches like real-time app development, database optimization, or natural language processing, freelancers with those skills may be available without long-term commitments. And freelancing offers flexibility. You can extend or downsize staff according to project needs. The trade-offs include less dedication. Freelancers may focus on completing a job rather than building long-term value, and may not be as invested in your project's long-lasting impact as a full-time employee. Time zone and availability can be challenging if your freelancer is in another region or working with multiple clients, leading to slower response times. And without close supervision, quality control can be harder to maintain. For freelance hiring, Upwork, Fiverr, and TopTal provide access to a global pool of talent. Ruby on Rails communities on GitHub and Stack Overflow are also places to connect with experienced developers. Staff augmentation combines aspects of traditional and freelance hiring for a dedicated yet flexible work environment. Developers work for a specified project duration, but are contracted to work exclusively for a single company. Staff augmentation services are usually provided by third-party agencies that source talent and screen them for compatibility with your project goals. Advantages include scalability. Augmented teams make it easy to scale project resources according to requirements without lengthy hiring processes. You gain access to expertise through agencies that can bring in specialists for specific needs. And you save on overhead costs like benefits, office space, and equipment, which are often covered by the agency. Disadvantages include dependency on vendors. Over-reliance on external providers can cause problems during peak operations if the agency can't meet workforce demands. Cultural disconnect is possible when augmented staff from different environments don't align with your team, creating communication gaps, especially in offshore staff augmentation models. And knowledge transfer may be lost at the end of the contract if proper documentation isn't maintained. For staff augmentation, partner directly with IT outsourcing companies or agencies offering these services. Directories like ClutchList pre-vetted development service providers. 10 interview questions to ask Ruby on Rails developers. Interviewing a Ruby on Rails developer requires more than just technical questions. Here are 10 essential questions that help you evaluate skills, experience, and fit for your project. Ask how MVC architecture works in Ruby on Rails. Understanding MVC is fundamental to Rails, and this question judges their grasp of the framework's basics. Ask about their favorite Ruby gems and how they've used them. Ruby gems ease development, and their response highlights how well-attuned and experienced they are with common tools. Ask how they conduct database migrations in Rails. This reveals their ability to handle changes in database schema and ensure data integrity. Ask them to describe their experience working with Rails Active Record. Active Record is crucial for database work and helps determine how well they use models and querying. Ask how they optimize the performance of a Rails application. A strong response should show knowledge of caching, eager loading, and performance tools like New Relic. Ask whether they've used third-party APIs in Rails applications. This demonstrates their ability to extend functionality by connecting to external services. Ask about their approach to testing in Rails. Testing ensures code reliability, and this question reveals awareness of Ruby testing frameworks like RSpec or Minitest. Ask how they handle security concerns within a Rails application. Security shouldn't be compromised. A good answer should cover prevention against SQL injection, protection of user data, and authentication. Ask for an example of a challenging Rails project they worked on and how they solved it. This shows problem-solving skills and adaptability under pressure. And ask how they stay updated on Rails-related knowledge. This underlines their dedication to continuous learning and current industry practices. Together, these questions provide full insight into a candidate's technical knowledge, experience, and problem-solving ability, helping you select the right developer for your team. Mistakes to avoid while hiring Ruby on Rails developers. Finding a Ruby on Rails developer is a critical step in bringing your project to life, but recruitment mistakes can get in the way of success from the start. Many businesses fall into common traps. One mistake is not considering cultural fit. Technical skills are essential, but a candidate should also fit your company's culture. Without that alignment, friction, miscommunication, and poor collaboration are likely. Another is neglecting soft skills. Great developers combine technical ability with communication, flexibility, and problem-solving. That combination is what helps them work smoothly in a team and handle unexpected challenges with composure. Overvaluing credentials is a frequent error. A degree or certification isn't always better than hands-on experience. Hiring someone who looks good on paper but struggles with real-world problems is a costly mistake. Proven results matter more than qualifications alone. Skipping technical assessments is equally risky. Resumes and interviews only tell half the story. Without a technical test or live coding exercise, you might hire someone less competent in applying their skills than they appeared on paper. And unclear role requirements create mismatches from the start. Vague or overly general job descriptions leave candidates puzzled about what you want, which can lead to selecting someone unsuitable for the role. Lay down expectations, responsibilities, and non-negotiable skill sets up front and in detail. These mistakes can be avoided with a sound and thorough hiring process. Balance technical reviews with cultural alignment and soft skill assessment, and you'll be in a much stronger position to find the right Ruby on Rails developer for your project. Closing takeaway. Recruiting Ruby on Rails developers isn't straightforward. You're trying to find the right balance between technical expertise, soft skills, and cultural fit. Understanding role requirements, creating a detailed job description, accounting for cost variability across cooperation models, and avoiding common pitfalls are all keys to recruiting the right people. Whether you hire in-house, work with freelancers, or use staff augmentation, the objective remains the same: build a team that thrives on creativity and delivers results. With a clear framework for what to look for, how to evaluate candidates, and which hiring model fits your project, you can make informed decisions that align with your project needs and corporate vision. If you'd like to learn more about software development, AI, cloud, data engineering, and digital transformation, visit us at softeller.com.